Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with yet another little project for you. This is the first of 2024 and I'm excited for another year of great projects. So I thought I'd make something really simple to start off the year, a little desk calendar, which just stands up simply on the desk and just has obviously all the months of the year on. Really simple to do. I'm actually making these to send out with my catalogues for this month, because the new mini catalogue's out and the celebration. More about that and more about all of the products in a bit. But I'll show you how to make this little desk calendar. So what you need is a piece of cardstock. Now I'm using pumpkin pie because one of my aims this year is to use colours that I haven't actually used very much, and pumpkin pie is one of those. And you want to cut that. You can get 3 from a sheet of A4. You can see if I put that out, that was a sheet of A4. So you can get 3 from it and you cut them at, and the other thing I'm going to do this year, by the way, is give you centimetres and inches wherever I can. So this, I'm cutting my A4 sheet into 3 on the long side, cutting at 3 7/8 inches or 9.9 centimetres. And that gives you 3 pieces. Then we're going to score it. So bring my scoreboard in and hopefully that is in view. And again, I'll give you both of the measurements in both centimetres and inches. So we're going to start off for metric. We're going to score first. Remember, move your dark coloured cutting blade right out of the way. Just use your lighter scoring blade. So we're going to score it at 8.5. So this is centimetres, 17 centimetres, 18.5 centimetres and 20 centimetres. So this is the width of A4, which is 21 centimetres. In inches, you want to score it at 3.5, 7, 7.5 and 8 inches. And that will give you the same result. Then you also need 2 pieces of DSP. If it's directional, you want the pattern going upwards, so you want to cut the longer measurement, which is 9.2 centimetres or 3 5/8 of an inch here. You want to cut that on the upright bit of the pattern, so you want the pattern pointing up to cut that wider measurement. Then the shorter side measurement is 8 centimetres or 3 1/4 inches, and you need 2 pieces. Then you also need a little scrap for decoration. I've actually done one there. I'll put that on another one because I'll do one for you to show. So any little scrap, a little narrow scrap will be fine because, well, it depends what sentiment you want to use. Just get myself a little scrap here. I'm using quite a narrow sentiment, so I can use one of my little narrow strip offcuts. So those are the bits we need. For the sentiment, by the way, I have used, for the one I'm doing, I'm using the from Zany Zoo, Something Great to Celebrate You. I think it's a rather nice sentiment just to go on top of a calendar because it'll apply all year because people are great all year, of course. So to make it up, we've done all of these folds. So we want to do a mountain fold to start off with, which is the first fold. Then we do another mountain fold on the second fold. That's another mountain fold, then a valley fold. So we're folding it away. That makes a valley fold. And then finally another mountain fold for the last little one, just being careful to make sure it's nice and straight. I always line up the edges to make sure that I am actually straight, which you should be if you've got your scoring right. So we've got mountain fold in the middle, and for this end bit, mountain, valley, mountain, to form that shape. So I'm going to put it together before we actually stick the whole thing together. So I'm going to stick the 2 pieces of DSP on, making sure that if it's directional, obviously if it isn't directional, it doesn't matter, but if it is directional, then make sure that the pattern is going upwards in the middle towards that first main crease. That makes some sense. Okay, then the second piece is going on here the other way around, so they'll both be the right way up when we actually make the desk calendar, put it all together. So I'm just using Tombow. You could use Stampin' Seal. I still have some Fast Fuse I'm still using up. I could have used that and used it up, but anyway. So this time, if it's a directional pattern, put it on that way. Now this paper, by the way, I should have told you, I've used Naturally Gilded. It's a beautiful set of paper. There are 3 different types in it. You've got a gold leaf pattern on the back of Very Vanilla. You've got silver on basic white, and you've got copper on basic white, and that's the one I've used for these because it matches the pumpkin pie nicely. And you can see it's a beautiful foily pattern, just lovely. And then we want to have a little thing. These are a set. I've just bought these from Amazon, so I've got loads of them because I'm making loads to go out with my various catalogues that I'm sending out. So these are just the little calendar tabs, and you can get them in various size packs from Amazon, or if anybody's local and wants them from me, I've got plenty spare. So you can just ask if you would like some. Anyway, I'm just going to stick that on. So this is one of these little tear off tabs, so people can tear off each month at a time. So I'm sticking that on the bottom of this main bit, which is the front piece. Then I'm going to do my sentiment. As I say, I'm using the one from Zany Zoo, and I'm actually going to emboss it because I think it looks nicer. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy, and it'll match the paper as well. Given the gloss in the paper, it'll give me that. So I'll get my Versamark pad and my sentiment, which I can then just stamp there, just the right width this for that stamp. Then I'm going to use the copper embossing powder. As you know, noisy lid, I keep my embossing powder in these old Chinese, very clean, but old Chinese containers, because it just makes slightly less mess. I still seem to get it everywhere, but not quite as much as before. So there I have got my sentiment just on, and then we can use the heat gun to melt it. I just love seeing this. I hope the noise isn't too big. Nice thing about our heat guns is they are quite quiet. I just love seeing it go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you can see that on the camera. I love to watch embossing powder melt. It's just, I'll never tire of it. I've been doing crafting for years, but I'll never tire of that. And then just to finish off this sentiment, I'm just going to trim it. Oh, I've got something stuck on my scissors. Keep that bit for another one later. I might actually trim this. I'll just narrow it down a bit because I want it to be the same both sides. I didn't quite stamp it in the middle of the sheet. That wasn't quite straight. Should have done that on the trimmer, shouldn't I? That's better. And then I'm just going to flag the ends just by eye because it's only narrow. I don't really need to measure for such a narrow piece. Just cutting into the middle to form a little flag at each end. Get rid of those bits. And then we just need a couple of dimensionals. Oh, I have a slightly sore finger, so I can't use my first finger. So a little bit awkward to do that. I'm pulling off the tops instead of the dimensional, but that's okay because I need them off anyway. There. So now I can stick that on the top here, just to make sure it's nice and straight. Now to put it together, really simply, we're just going to use some tear and tape. If I can find the end of my tear and tape. And put a little piece across, why are you going around the floor, Gus? You're making noise with your claws. So a little piece of tear and tape across the bottom. And then I can take that off like that. Now to put this together, I found the easier way is to actually fold it all up and then use your fingers just to hold down each side, fold it back over, and that just gets it nice and level, and there it is standing up as a little desk calendar. So I hope you like that little project. It's a really quick and easy project. They obviously will fold flat, so you can put them in an envelope and post them quite nicely. They're not too deep, so you will get them in a normal post, which is good. And I'll put them with my catalogues to send out. And if you would like a catalogue and you're local to me, please get in touch. Or even if you're not local, as long as you live in the UK or Ireland, I can send you a catalogue. If you enjoyed that project, I hope you did, then please do subscribe to my channel. And if you want all the measurements, they are in my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk, where you can follow along and all the instructions are there too. Thank you, Gus, for huffing at the end. Anyway, Happy New Year to everybody, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.